Good morning and a very warm welcome to all my energetic young audience who have joined me today for a wonderful session on self-development, I would say. So this is a session that has been created specifically for all of you to understand how to overcome fear of exams. But I, at the end of 1 hour, would make sure that together we are going to discover how we are going to be overcoming a lot of challenges that we will be coming across in our life throughout our development till the last breath of our life. So exams is just one small part or a small iota of the whole thing. So let's together discover that today. But before I go into the session, let me introduce myself. I'm Mrs.Vineetha Anil, an educationist for past 25 years. I have worked as a lecturer in various degree colleges, MBA colleges, went on to teaching in school, and I have taken over as a principal of a CBSE school in Bangalore. So what I would be sharing with you through my sessions starting from today is my experiences with my students, my teachers, and how these experiences have been a practical result for me, and in such a simplified way that you are able to connect every single matter or every single concept that I'm going to share with you. So it's going to be easy for you to connect with me as well. Similarly, I would also like to take this opportunity to appreciate and applaud the effort of the entire Buddy Academy team for this wonderful initiative of not only developing the subject expertise of each one of you, dear students, but also giving a holistic approach to this entire event by bringing in concepts of soft skills into it, which is very, very important for the overall development of any person. As I said, these are skills, these are capabilities, these are qualities that each one of us need to have throughout our life, not just as students, but as students, if you develop it, it becomes easier for you to take on as you move every step of your life. So with that note, I would like to start off my presentation for today. Yes, so hoping that my PPT is clear to all of you. As I said, it is not how to overcome the fear of exams that I would exactly be talking about. Through my 1 hour session, we are going to be developing those skills of how to believe in ourselves. And that belief is going to create miracles of self-belief, self-faith. When I'm saying the word miracles, it's because it's going to create a magic in your life that this self-belief, this faith that you have in yourself, this confidence that you have in yourself will enable you to take up any challenge that you come across in your life, your academic, your professional courses, in your profession, and so on and so forth. So it is going to be a long-term learning for us. As I move forward, yes. So my entire objective with you today is to help us discover together. I wouldn't say learning. We would be together discovering and understanding the qualities that each one of us have and how to enhance these qualities of self-discipline, self-belief, and self-confidence. So you must be wondering, we were told, the topic said how to overcome fear of exam. What has self-belief got to do with exam preparation? And what is this term called miracles of self-belief? We are talking about a reality where we have to write exams and face the whole tension of exams. This man doesn't understand this. But let me tell you, my dear students, I have still been writing exams even till the last month. So fear is something that we all come across, be it exams, be it any challenge that we are going to overtake. Even today's session, until I could actually connect with you, definitely an iota of fear is there in everybody's heart till everything goes fine. But the miracle is, if we have the belief that we can take it over, then it is actually happening successfully in front of you. Now, let me narrate a small story to you. It is said some years back, there was a war declared between two students. I'm sure you like stories, which will connect all of us easily. So a war was declared between two countries. So when it is a war, obviously, The armed forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force of both the countries are preparing really hard with all the, arms, ammunition, with the strategies to fight, everything. Preparation is happening on full swing. And one day prior to the day of war, in one of the camps, one of the country's camps, while the soldiers have finished their rigorous day's practice and they're resting in their tents, the captain calls all the officers and addresses them and says, look, officers, let's try to work out some very important strategies so that we are able to tell our soldiers how to fight the war tomorrow, and we will definitely come out victorious. So one of the officers immediately jumped up and said, sir, we don't require all that, because I'm sure that God has already decided that victory is going to be ours. So the captain was surprised. So he gave a smile and he said, oh, that's very interesting to know that victory has already been decided in our favor. So let's recheck on that, luck that we are going to have. So he put his hand into his pocket. He brought out a coin. Obviously, a coin has head and tails. He said, I will toss this coin. And if heads are visible, then we are going to win. If it is tails, then our enemy is going to win. And they said, okay. And he tossed the coin. And when they all looked at it very eagerly, the heads was visible. So they all screamed out of enjoyment and joy and things like that. And this officer said, sir, look, I told you, we are going to win. Victory is definitely going to be ours. So the captain said, please go and pass on this message to the soldiers as well. Let them take proper rest today night, with the peace that we are going to win. Wake up with a lot of energy tomorrow and go and face the enemies. So the officers went and told all the soldiers, look, army, our men, we are going to win our battle. We have done all our practice. We are ready in every way. Our arms and ammunition, everything is ready. So sleep well tonight and get ready for a wonderful victory tomorrow as we face our enemy. So the soldiers were very happy and they went to sleep very peacefully. Next day morning, they woke up very early, went for the war. On the war field, they all faced the enemy with absolute confidence, with the belief that, yes, we are set to be winning today. And that did the magic. At the end of the war, they came back victorious. And obviously, when they reached their tent back by evening, victory means a lot of celebrations. Celebrations and party was going on. At that time, the captain and the officers met again, and the officer said, look, sir, I told you we are going to win. Then the captain said, okay, officers, let me show you once again what is the entire thing about. So again, he put his hand into his pocket, brought out the same coin, and he showed his entire officers. Look, this particular coin had only heads in it. There were no tails in it at all. That means it was the miracle of self-belief. When you said that we are going to win, I was sure that we are going to win because our preparations were very good. We had already done our entire practice and our strategies. Everything was taught. Our arms and ammunitions, everything was perfect. But at the end of it, if we do not believe in our hard work, our own qualities, our own strengths, the final day when we have to implement all that we have learned and practiced, if we do not have that confidence, then we still would lose. So the entire idea of this captain was to build that self-belief and that self-confidence in each one of them. And that self-belief and that self-confidence helped them work out everything, implement all that they had practiced to make sure they won. That is exactly the miracle of self-belief, self-confidence that I was talking to you about. So let me just take you back. So understand. So now we are talking about coming back to this huge war that each of our students are facing, the fear of exams. Exams is a huge hurdle in front of every student's life. So do we want to face it with a frown, just the way I've shown you in this particular picture? Do I want to get stressed out every time and look at it with a big frown, with a hatred, with a lot of stress? Or do I want to face it with a smile and the smile of confidence? I'm sure all of you would tell along with me that no, ma'am, we want to face it with a smile of confidence. We don't want to take this kind of stress of exams. So please give us the tips. And that's what we are going to do today. Yes. So when I'm telling you this, I'm quoting Nelson Mandela before you. The reason I brought this great legendary figure to be mentioning to you is for several reasons. One, to understand that fear is not a part and parcel of only a student's life. It is a part and parcel of every human's life. And if you ask me, is fear good or bad, ma'am? Then I would say anything excess is not good. So if I'm completely fearless, it is not good. At the same time, if I have excess of fear, that also would not do me good. But if I have the correct amount of fear to make sure how I will have to work towards overcoming that fear, then I'm sure I'm on the right track. And Nelson Mandela is one such person. I also wanted to bring to your notice that it is not something to do with only we Indians. It is a common characteristic of every single human who is born onto the surface of earth, starting from an infant who learns how to walk to an age-old person who is surviving every single day of his life. There is a lot of fear that they come across. Nelson Mandela was this one person who single-handedly led the fight in South Africa against apartheid, against racial discrimination, against the blacks. And he took it onto himself, followed our own father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi's footsteps of non-violence. And he said, we will fight it out through non-violence. If I'm living in my society, I need to have freedom of every kind. I need to be treated just like the whites, and my people have every right to it. He took it onto himself. Nevertheless, over a period of time, he realized non-violence alone is not going to help. So he took up to a little bit of armed movement as well. He had to go into hiding so that he could guide his people on how to go about fighting this war against apartheid. He was arrested. He was put into prison for 27 long years. It's not a day or a two, like how we face our exams of 1 week or 10 days or 12 days. 27 long years. And let me tell you, my dear students, it was not an easy stay for him in a prison. Prison is definitely not a comfortable place. But even in the prison, he was put into a prison in a far-off isolated island. Even among the prisoners, he was completely isolated because he was a leading figure for a lot of fights, a lot of revolution that was going to happen in South Africa. Every single black in the prison was treated worse than the worst criminal among the whites. The treatment meted out to the prisoners, the black prisoners, was atrocious. They were made to do the most hardest work, tortured, beaten, barely given 2 times or 1 time meal a day, with hardly filling their stomachs, nutrition zero. They were made to do a lot of laborious labor work, which was very heavy on their body. They were in the chill, cold weather of South Africa. They were hardly allowed to wear bare minimum clothes, whereas the whites, even though they were prisoners or criminals, they were given a different treatment altogether. Nelson Mandela, when he was arrested, he was not sure whether he would come out alive. He was put in a cell which was barely exactly his height, exactly of his length. And he sat there, but continued to fight for his purpose with the same focus and the same courage, and said, I'm not sure whether I would come out alive to see my family, my wife and 2 daughters, whom he had left when they were very, very young. But I know that I'm here with a purpose. I will fight it out. And it is from that, my dear students, that he coined out this wonderful quote where he said that he learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Brave man is not who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So that's exactly why I said fear to a large extent is good, because it keeps us motivated to overcome it. It keeps us always focused on what we want to achieve. And that is how we overcome it, we conquer it, and we turn out to be victorious. So let us together now conquer the challenge of this huge word called exams. Now, if I'm telling you, my dear students, I'm going to be gift wrapping a beautiful parcel of a favorite flavor of a cake to you and present it before you, beautifully gift wrapped. And I tell you, go and take it and enjoy it. How would you do? I'm sure you would not rip it apart, tear it, throw over the entire thing, and take that entire half of 1 kg cake and just gulp it down. No, you would be so keen on understanding how it is going to look. So you would very carefully open up the gift wrap, open up the parcel of the box, have a look at the look of the beautiful cake that is laid in front of you, your favorite flavor. You look at it with a joy and a smile on your face, a joy of contentment, a joy of accomplishment that, yes, I'm going to be tasting something which is favorite to me. Then you would take a plate, a spoon, a knife, cut it very neatly, take a piece, place it on the cake, sit back and enjoy every single bit of it. That is how you have done it. Same way, my dear students, let us face exams as a step-by-step process. Break it down into beautiful things, and then you would see that you're actually enjoying the process of exams. And as I told you, at whatever age, you would be ready to take on exams because it's not a huge hurdle, just the way I've been doing till recently. So that's what I have done for you. Exams is nothing but enjoying and embracing whatever you do to explore and excel, accomplish your tasks, and award yourself so that you are motivated to succeed always. Now, this is what is exams all about. Very simple, right? So let's understand how it happens. If, as I told you already, if your parents or your elders at home were to give you all your favorite food, your desserts, your ice creams, or anything that is favorite, how much ever you look at it or how much ever you eat it, you really do not get upset, or you do not get fed up, or you do not start hating it. You still love it. Every time it is given to you, you enjoy eating it. You enjoy the look of it. You go and open up the box and you enjoy the very reason that it is there at home for you. So the first tip that I'm like to give you, dear students, is do what you love, and you would never feel that you're working another day in your life. So start loving this whole process of student life, of studies, of exams, and then you would never feel, oh, as a big burden, oh, I have to sit down to study. You would just love to do it just the way you would love to eat your favorite food. Second tip, if you are very close to your parents or your cousins, or you have a very close friend, no matter how much ever you might have differences of opinion, you might have some small fights with them, still you would like to overcome all that and make sure you still spend time with that favorite person of yours, your close friend or your close cousin or your close relatives, your aunt or uncle who is very close to you. No matter how much ever you might feel upset about certain things, you still like to create that bond and overcome all those challenges. And then you find there's a beauty of that entire relationship that is there between you and that particular person. Same way, establish a wonderful bond with your subjects and the teachers who teach you that subject. The moment you start creating that bond, the closeness, then you will find that everything is as comfortable as you never thought it could be. You would start enjoying the very aspect of learning that subject. The moment you face any challenges, you know you have a person whom you love, that's your teacher. Contact that teacher, get in touch with the teacher, clarify your doubts, and you would see the beautiful bonding that's happening between you, the subject, your teacher, and finally the exams. Make every moment that you spend worthwhile. Now, when you sit down to study, it can be 1 hour, it can be 2 hours. But at the end of that 1 or 2 hours, whatever you have decided to study, make sure that you have studied it to an extent that you feel confident when you look back onto the topic, that yes, if this particular question is asked in the exam, or at any time if I'm questioned on this, I will be able to face it with a lot of confidence and belief. Just the way I've shown you in the picture. It is like weaving a whole huge cloth. Weaving is not easy. It is a daily, regular work, hourly work, every minute that you have to work on it. Now, if you're weaving a cloth, it cannot happen in 1 hour. It cannot happen in a day. It happens after several days of laborious work. Similarly, but every time that you sit on weaving that cloth, there's a target that the loomer has in his mind, that I would finish so much of the design or so much of the pattern, just the way that lady sitting and doing it, handcrafting it so beautifully, that at the end of that 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours that she sat on it, she would find that she has accomplished another part of the entire pattern or the design of the cloth. Same way, weave your entire study pattern on an hourly, daily basis. But at the end of that 1 or 2 hours in a day, make sure that you have created a complete new output out of your studies. Embrace it. When I say embrace it, I've given you a picture of a cat and a dog, and it is usually believed that cats and dogs do not get along well. You put them, they will always fight. But if from the very initial stages, if they're made to live together, they become the best of friends and they're inseparable. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. My tip for you is start your studies early. The moment it is taught to you, begin your daily studies. So from the initial stages, you're creating a bond with the subject. It might be a difficult subject as math for you, or chemistry for you, or physics, or biology. It can be anything, or even your school subjects for that matter. But embrace it. Start on a daily basis. The more you push it away, the more you develop enmity, the more you develop hatred, the more you start fighting with it. And that's not a solution. Solution is how to create a bond and actually accept it into your life. So embrace it the moment you accept it on a daily basis from the beginning, on a regular basis, then you'd find that you're actually loving the subject, and no more it looks like enemies. It looks like the great bonding that you're seeing in the picture. Explore and excel yourself. When I say explore and excel, you are the decision maker of your studies. Nobody else can decide for you. You know the subjects which are difficult as compared to others. You know the topics in the subjects which are difficult or easy for you. So when you know that your exams are fast approaching, keeping aside 1 week before the exams, make use of the entire remaining time for a clearly prepared timetable that has to be prepared by you alone. Prepare it starting from a combination of an easy and a difficult subject, both to be handled on a particular day. Make sure your preparation of timetable starts much, much earlier to the time that you're going to write your exams. As I said, start it initially. So make sure that on a daily basis, you are covering minimum of 2 subjects, if not all, but 1 difficult, 1 easy. Allot exact appropriate time depending on your difficulty levels. That's what I'm reminding you, that you are the decision maker for your timetable. Please do not ask your friends. Please do not ask your parents. They can all guide you. Your parents, your teachers can guide you, but you are the decision maker, because you know within yourself what is difficult, what is time consuming, what is going to be easy for you. Prepare it according to that. Certain days you might not have the mood to be doing that subject, but don't give it up. Swap it with another subject for which you can complete it. So have clarity what you would be doing. Prepare a particular time, 1 hour, 2 hours for this particular subject. Give a due break after every studies. Make sure you're allotting time for your breaks, for your eating time, then your other things which I will be mentioning to you in the due course, and your other subject. So by the end of the day, before you hit the bed, you should have had a complete idea of what you have accomplished. So your timetable, just like as I showed in the picture, should be crystal clear to you, that when you look at it every day morning, you are not deciding every morning what to study, whereas it is right in front of you, prepared by you. So you know which subject to take, what time to study, what time to start, what time to end. So clarity is all there. With this perfection and clarity, when you sit down, you would definitely be able to prepare fantastic notes. So make sure, as you finish your 1 hour or 2 hours of studies for every subject, depending on your timetable, I'm repeating, depending on your timetable, following the discipline of implementing your timetable is important. And when you do that, simultaneously preparing your own notes helps you for a recap, a reinforcement of your own topic. And as you prepare your notes simultaneously, you'd find that your revision automatically is over. So 3 times of your studies is over. 1, when you're studying it for the first time. As you're writing, you're reinforcing, and that looking at your notes helps you revise it further. And you have those easily prepared notes made by you to quickly go through just before the exams. You don't have to sit with those heavy textbooks all over again. So that is the secret. Every explorer, so as I said, be an explorer. When I use the word explorer, it is because you are discovering your own strengths, your own challenges. You are the one who's deciding what is your goal, what you need to achieve every hour, every day before your exams. What is that goal or target that you have met? So whatever be the challenges, you are the explorer. And the best quality of an explorer is they know they face challenges, but they do not stop themselves there. The moment they face challenges, just the way I gave you in the picture, they overcome those challenges, find out ways and means that no matter what. I've had a small health problem today morning. I woke up with a headache, so I couldn't start my studies at 8 o'clock as per my timetable. Never mind. I take my break a little bit, feel better, and I make sure that time that I have lost there, I'm compensating it before I go to bed in the night. So I'm overcoming it. I'm exploring my own ways of making sure that I'm implementing my well-prepared timetable. I don't stop it there. And the result, I will excel in whatever I do. When I'm saying excel, doesn't mean that every day we would be getting an award. No. Even if I have implemented my 1 day's timetable perfectly, that means I have excelled in it. And why I have quoted the picture of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, let me tell you, my dear students, he's a role model for many. Role model for students, role model for professionals as well. Any age group, we can learn n number of things from his life. And as I was reading a few life instances about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I wanted to definitely share it with you, my dear students, because we all feel that we should be born intelligent to be actually excelling. No. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, as a student in the school, his teachers have been quoted to be saying that he was a very average student. He was not an exceptionally great student. But do you know what brought him to this position, because of which we are discussing about him today? The Missile Man of India, the ex-president of India, and many more laurels to his credit. Because the teacher said he was a consistently hardworking child. His hard work gave him results. His self-discipline, his confidence gave him results. He went on, though he belonged to a poor family. He did his hard work. He went on to enroll himself for engineering. Now, there was a very interesting incident that happened in his engineering course as well. The dean of his engineering course knew the talent and the capability that Abdul Kalam sir had, because Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam got scholarship for his exceptional performance to enroll himself to engineering. So he was studying with a scholarship. So they were given some very important project, a practical project that they had to come out as engineering students. Knowing Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he was working consistently and regularly on it. But the dean felt that he can come out much faster and better with the results. So he called Dr. Abdul Kalam and said, Kalam, your scholarship would be cancelled if in the next 3 days I do not get your project. So Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had this huge hurdle in front of him. He had the fear because he was poor. If not for the scholarship, he couldn't be completing the course. But do you think he would have given up on that fear? No. He took it up as a challenge. And much before the completion of 3 days, the project was completed and given to the dean. And that was an exceptional project that was applauded by the dean and the faculty of the engineering college. And the dean himself said, Kalam, I knew I had put extra pressure on you, but I wanted to put that because I knew you had the caliber, you had the capability, you would come out with the best results much before anybody. So the crux that we get, take the challenges that is coming before you, but never give up, and you would find that you're excelling. And that would mean even in your regular studies. Accomplish and award yourself. When our parents, our teachers, or anybody compares us to our siblings or to our friends and says, look, he is doing so well, he's studying so well, he's dancing and he's getting awards, you are not doing anything. We wouldn't like it. If you ask me, I personally wouldn't like being compared to anybody. And I'm sure you would also agree. But what do? We do not like anybody else comparing us with anyone else. But we ourselves, somewhere in the process of our growth, we compare ourselves with others. Every time we want to study or we want to accomplish something, we say, no, I cannot do it. That person is able to do because she's intelligent or he's very smart. He has a very good background. His parents are very well educated, so he's getting that help. These are all excuses. Understand, every person born on the surface of earth is actually packed with his or her own good qualities, unique qualities. So understand that you are meant to be different from others. What is your strength point need not be the strength point of somebody else. What is a challenge for you need not be a challenge for somebody else. But how do I overcome the challenge? That is my unique quality. So believe in yourself and understand that you are unique in yourself. Now, I have done a beautiful timetable. I've prepared it. I have started implementing it. I have been making my notes. I have been revising. I've been excelling. I have been making sure that every single hour that I'm sitting on my studies is worthwhile. And I believe that I have the strength and I am different from the others. But most important thing that we need to keep doing from time to now is that doing a self-check. At the end of every week, go back onto your timetable and check if you have covered every topic the way you had desired to do. Check on it whether you have completed every single aspect of every single topic in detail. And are you able to make sure? So give yourself that at the end of every 1 week, give yourself that slot for a self-check. Are you able to recollect everything quickly? Are you feeling confident about it? You have n number of platforms where you get a lot of question papers and a lot of other material to be checking on whether you're able to answer them, be it multiple choice questions, be it high order thinking questions, conceptual questions, mind mapping, in different ways. Try to gather all of them, try solving them. So a self-check is very, very important. Going back, revisiting your timetable to see at the end of the week whether I have 100% accomplished everything I wanted to do or I plan to do with clarity. That check is important. And all the more, the self-check should be more concrete with answering a few test papers or a few exams or a self-prepared test itself. And as you are solving it, you would be able to give a huge confident smile and a confident tick against each of these topics. Then you would find small loopholes, which is natural, which happens to any one of us. I might not have concentrated much on a small part of a topic. Nevertheless, I have not lost time. I have checked myself. So before I start my next week's subject, I would first finish off this and then take it. Do not pile it up. So keep checking yourself on everything that you do. Now, I have done all this and I have found at the end of 1 week or 2 weeks, I have done a major amount of my portion the way I have planned, with the same clarity, with the same confidence. I made it worthwhile. I have prepared my notes. Everything is going beautifully. When all this you're doing, you expect your parents, your elders, your teachers to be appreciating you. But many a times we forget to appreciate ourselves. So my dear students, remember one thing. Self-motivation is a long-lasting thing. External motivation that you're getting from your teachers, from your friends, from your parents, from your other elders is definitely going to help us, but that will remain only from time to time. What is it that helps me motivated when I'm alone also? That is my motivation. How do I keep that motivation in me alive? That is when I reward my own self. Now, I have shown it in the form of an ice cream because that is something which all of us like. But the reward can be in any way. It can be taking a break from your studies a little longer and watching your favorite TV program. It can be a small outing with your friends for a half an hour or 1 hour in the day as an extra benefit for yourself. It can be eating your favorite food, or it can be even as simple as preparing a beautiful chart and keeping right in front of you on your study table. And against the topic, mentioning the fact that you have prepared, you have completed this preparation, and putting a star mark or a smiley on that and giving yourself those marks and points and see how you are upgrading yourself. What a wonderful feeling it would be, a sense of accomplishment and an award for yourself. And you know what, in what way it also helps? It avoids you from binge studying. Binge studying is something which most of us students do. I pile up my topics just before the exams. I have no choice. I open all my books, sit down, try to study in the shorter time, lot of topics, less time. I sit overnight, no food, no sleep. Somehow I manage to study. But have I realized that I squeezed my brains completely, more than what it could take? I've squeezed my body completely because my body required rest. It required the proper rest, the proper rejuvenation, proper food, which I was not giving. I did my work. I feel good. I can go and write. But what happens? My brain and my body are not able to deliver what I have studied to the 100% on the crucial day of the war, that is my exam. And that is where most of us feel, I had studied this, but I was not able to do it the way I thought. Why? Reflect on your preparation. Did you start it initially? Did you embrace it from the beginning itself? Did you create a bond with it from the beginning? Did you create a clarity of a timetable? Did you do consistent preparation? Did you make every preparation and every time of yours worthwhile? If you haven't, then you have done binge studying. So if you have done all what I have given you till now, then the next advantage that you get is you avoid binge studying. That means you are able, just the way the soldiers went to sleep peacefully the previous day of the war, you would also be able to take your due rest and go back fresh the next day early morning for your exam and do your 100% because you have the self-belief and you have given sufficient rest to your brain and body. Stay motivated, as I already said. Award yourself, reward yourself. And every single achievement of yours, you might discuss with your friends. Nevertheless, even I discuss with my friends about how much they have prepared for the exams. They might say, I finished 5 chapters in math. And when I look at my timetable, I would have finished only 2 chapters in math. That's not for me to feel restless or unhappy. Remember, I'm unique. I have my own strengths. I prepared my own timetable depending upon my strengths and my challenges. So what if I have done only 2 chapters in maths and my friends have done 5 chapters in maths? But I have done those 2 chapters perfectly, that just before the exam, if I take it, I can still solve it really well. Or it can be chemistry, it can be physics, it can be biology, it can be any subject. Feel positive and happy about the extent of preparations that you have done, depending on your strength, your caliber. And once you have done that, then you don't have to sacrifice your eating time at all. Usually, what do? We do with last minute preparations. So we tell our parents or we tell our elders, I don't have time to come and sit at the table and eat. Serve me something fast here so that while I'm studying, I can eat. And what do we land up eating? A lot of fast food. The contents that go into the fast food are heavily junked, fatty, and that makes our body more lethargic, more lazy, more inactive. And the due nutrients that our body requires to pump in the fresh blood to go into our brain, to make the brain feel fresh and nice to recollect, that's not happening. So make sure that you are preparing in every single way from what I have told you till now, then make sure your food also has a very balanced diet where you're getting all the nutrients that you require. Give that space in your timetable for your eating time, because your body deserves to get that amount of award from you. And eat at the proper time, in proper quantity. Eat in regular intervals, smaller quantities. Don't overstuff yourself where you feel too full and you feel lazy to sit in front of your studies. Even if it's a nutritious food, eat smaller quantities at regular intervals or more regular intervals so that you are able to feel rejuvenated. You deserve a break. At the end of the day, by evening, make sure you go and take some fresh air outside the house, because your brain, your body, your entire being itself requires it. It can mean cycling. It can mean just a walk, stroll with your friends. It can be playing your favorite sport for half an hour to 45 minutes. Is not a crime at all. I know several parents say, your board exam is coming up, your NEET exam is coming up, this exam is coming, so many things. And you have no shame, you're going out to play. No, I would not agree. As an educationist myself and as a parent myself, I would advise all my children to say, go and play for some time, because that rejuvenation that you give your brain and your body helps you sit back fresh on your studies and helps you study much better. So physical activities to make sure that there is a rejuvenation of the body is very important. And most importantly, my dear students, what you and me are facing have already been faced by several people who have faced this much ahead of us. They have accomplished it. Why not us? So the most important rule of life is that we never quit. There is nothing that is not possible, because all that we are seeing in front of us, be it these exams, be it preparing for any entrance exams or any other professional courses or anything, have already been accomplished by people who are older to us. If they have accomplished, why not us? So there is nothing called impossible on the surface of earth. Everything is possible. So we never quit when we face challenges. So success is in our hands. Our thoughts. Yeah, so before I go into that, let me tell you a small story once again. Otherwise, it will become too heavy for us to understand what it is all about. I was continuously telling you that our preparation should be with a lot of clarity, a lot of self-discipline. I quoted how Nelson Mandela has fought or overcome the fear. I quoted about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, how his hard work and self-discipline helped him to reach where he is. There is one secret ingredient that all of these people had. I'll tell you through the story. It is said that there was this person who wanted to sit peacefully for his prayers. So he went to a park, because park is a place where he can sit peacefully. So he went to a park, found a very peaceful place, sat under a tree, spread a cloth in front of him just as a representation that he's having his favorite God's idol in front of him. And he started praying, closed his eyes, folded his hands and started praying. Obviously, it's a park. You have other people also in that. So just as he went into deep prayers, there was this lady who ran past him, screaming and yelling. And as she ran, she almost tripped over the cloth that was spread in front of him. And she went ahead. Now this, when she tripped over that cloth, that disturbed this man, because he was also sitting on the edge of the cloth. It disturbed this man. She stopped for a second and said, "I'm sorry," because this man was upset. He said, "Don't you see that I was praying peacefully and you have disturbed my prayers?" So she stopped to say, "I'm sorry." And she said, "I'm sorry because I did notice I was in a hurry to reach out to my husband who was going away. I have to reach out to him. He was looking out for me. So it is in that hurry that I did not notice this cloth." And as she was moving, again she stopped back and she asked him one question. "But sir, I thought you were praying, and praying means 100% concentration. No matter whatever happened in front of you, if you were 100% concentrating into what you were doing, no other disturbances would have affected you. Nothing would have stopped you from your faith and prayers, and you could have accomplished your task. How is it that you did not have that concentration? So this gave a big question mark into the mind of that man. He realized his mistake and he said, I'm sorry. What you said is true. And I have realized because of you today that whatever we do, including our studies, which is actually a divine thing, it is like praying to God. Do it with 100% concentration. Do it with truthfulness. And no matter, even if you're sitting in the midst of a lot of noise, a lot of children making noise, a lot of disturbances happening in your family, you would still be able to implement your timetable at the end of the day because you had the concentration to prepare and finish and accomplish your task. So that is a very important ingredient that we need to understand. So, my dear students, success is in our hands. Our thoughts lead us to our goals. Our goals, why I'm stressing on our, is because it is purely ours. It does not belong to anybody. Our goals guide us through our plans and efforts. Our goals, our plans, our efforts enable us to be focused because I have prepared it. I know my plan. I know my hard work. I know what I need to focus on. So it helps me to be focused. Our focus builds our faith and self-belief. When I'm focused on my studies and I'm focused on my target, I do it with so much clarity and so much concentration and so much of sincerity that I have built my belief and my faith that I can face this paper in the exam. And the miracle is that we can conquer the world. So exam is just one part of your entire life. If you follow these tips in any aspect of your life, it's not just exams. You would find that you're easily, very smoothly, with a smile of confidence, you're able to conquer the world itself. So a quick recap, dear students. I would say, if you want to conquer the world and overcome fear or challenges of any kind, and especially being specific about your exams, enjoy every moment of learning and preparation. Make sure you're always sitting with a happy mind because happy minds retain more and longer. If you go back to your school days or you think of some good memories, always the times that you have spent laughing and enjoying with your friends comes back to your mind faster than any other thing. That's because minds have this magic of retaining happy things. So sit with a happy mind. Establish a deep connection with your subjects and your subject teachers. Prepare your own timetable with clarity depending on your strengths and your challenges. Implement your timetable sincerely to make it worthwhile. Do not cheat on it because when you're cheating yourself and you face the trouble yourself. Always sit for your preparation with a positive mindset. Prepare your notes. It helps in enhancing your preparation with an immediate revision or an immediate recapitulation. Make sure you reward yourself after your accomplishment because you like to be appreciated by others, but learn to appreciate your own self because your soul is happy because of you. Maintain consistency in your preparation to avoid binge studying. Incorporate balanced diet in your food. Avoid junk food because it increases lethargy. Physical activities are important to rejuvenate your mind and your body. And most important, with concentration, if you sit down, you would always say that I'm never going to quit. Everything is possible. So very soon, I would be meeting you with the same confidence for another session, hopefully to give you tips on how to write exams, which is just another small hurdle in your life as a student. So thank you so much, dear students, for your patient listening. I hope it has helped you. You can always reach out to me on this website or with any further queries so that I would be able to help you out with your entire preparation for your exams. Thank you and have a nice day.
You are currently the only person in this conference.